Alright, good morning Twitch TV, and I immediately turned myself the wrong way because I clicked the wrong button on the mouse. Good morning Twitch TV, and welcome to another MMO Anthropology live stream. I am, of course, your host, Amarist. Immediately to my side here is Nelson Williams, my co-host, the editor-in-chief of Vox Ex Machina, playing Damien, who looks like he's right out of the Matrix, suddenly.
Back in black.
And to my other side, we are bringing along a guest today, who is Nyzam45 from YouTube. I believe that's also the name of his YouTube channel.
Yep.
I interviewed him almost 2 years ago about his experience playing Star Trek Online, and I think we're probably going to be doing it again. I can see Firewall and Havoc are both in our Twitch chat. They're both exuberant Star Trek Online players, so I'm glad to see both of them come along.
Hey guys, enjoying your grind?
So I want to thank Nyzam for coming along. Thank you so much for joining us. And
no, thank you. It's nice to come.
Yeah, could you introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, well, my name's Nyzam45. I run a channel on YouTube doing mostly Star Trek Online videos, along with a couple other series.
And what is your... Since you run a YouTube channel, and most of what get out of watching your videos is you kind of present a little bit of a let's play of Star Trek Online by giving people an example of episodes and some of your time. I've seen a couple where you flew with other people in STFs and etc. What's your favorite content to produce?
I'd say probably any kind of queue, usually. I like the story missions as well, but I don't know, most people have already done the story missions, so they get kind of old rather quickly.
What would you say is one of the most enjoyable queues that you've run into so far?
That's a hard question. I'd actually have to... what's it called? Hold on, let me bring it up.
Sure.
I know this one. Provided I can find it.
The League of Legends and Space Queue?
And Havoc wants to know what happened to the first 44 Nyzams.
No, you don't want to know.
Maybe he's
Infected Manus.
Oh my god, I hate that one. That's a ground mission, isn't it?
That one's awesome.
Well, what do you think sets that one aside for you, then?
Mainly just because it requires a lot of team coordination.
That's
more than any of the others, I'd say.
That's true. I think my problem is that I've only ever gone into that one with a pub group. I've never gone in with a group of people who really knew what they were doing.
I haven't gone into a pub team in almost 3 months. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would certainly change your experience dramatically. Nelson here certainly consistently berates me for playing with puppies because he doesn't believe that anything should be done with anyone who potentially doesn't know what they're doing.
If you can't reach out and smack the person,
they're still using green gear, I'd say that's true.
Yeah.
I've seen some horrible things in those queues.
Oh yeah.
So,
seen terrifying visions of darkness.
Because we're here on ESD and etc., and there's been something that's happened recently that's a little bit more solemn than what Nelson is up to at the moment is, of course, the death of actor Leonard Nimoy, who was Spock. I'm wondering, does anyone know where the memorial around here is?
Yes, I was just looking for it, actually. It's over, right above the engineering over there, the black flag.
Oh! Like the one hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah, they put up a black flag on ESD, Kronos, and, I don't remember the Romulan place, but...
New Romulus. I found it on Kronos and New Romulus, but I didn't find it on ESD.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until I was just looking around now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, on Kronos there is a memorial, a big sculpture object with a plaque on it.
Yes.
A large plaque with the names in Arial font.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it looks so bad. So horribly bad.
Arial makes us sad.
It does. We are sad font pandas. Also, I'm apparently snowing through the glass.
You are, actually. One of the things that I'm really curious about Nyzam over the past few years, actually, is the last time that I interviewed you, you were primarily flying, I think, in Aquarius.
Still am.
You're still flying the Aquarius. What sort of equipment, what sort of a loadout do you have on it? Has it changed, or are you sticking with the same traditional setup?
I'm trying to think. Back when you interviewed me, did I have the Romulan beam on the back? Because I don't remember.
I don't recall, actually. I didn't quite ask you that much about flying the Aquarius at the time, since it wasn't the focus of the interview. But
okay, well, mainly I run a Tetrion build. It's kind of a weird loadout. Like, I have, I'll just put that in team chat for right now. That's one of the things there.
Ooh.
That's the wide arc dual heavy cannons from the crafting sets that I was able to pick up on the exchange.
oh wow!
I happened to get a rarity upgrade when I was upgrading it a while back.
And
but
from
that's
what
beside the point.
from what I understand, that's actually pretty lucky.
Yeah, it was actually only like 2% when I upgraded it. I didn't expect it, so I was pretty happy to say about that. Aside from that, I also run a single cannon, a dual beam bank from the Nakura reputation, and I also picked this up on the exchange from the crafting set as well, which was a Omni Tetrion beam. So full Tetrion now, no longer part plasma.
Oh, and you have the sniper, the weird. Isn't that a 12-kilometer weapon? This one.
Yeah, that one's part of the Hydrogen set. It can fire from 12 kilometers away instead of 10.
Yeah, I remember seeing this one. I was thinking about putting it on my Recluse, because my Recluse is all Tetrion, of course, because Tholian. But it's all beams, of course. But for some reason, I kept on looking at this, wondering if I should put like this single weird cannon on it. But I never bought it. So
I would say unless you get the full 3-part set, to not to.
Because of the Tetrion Sniper Blast Sniper Synergy?
Yeah, that thing is actually really powerful by what I've seen. I don't have it just because I have the 2-part set, since I got the console that came with it.
Threat analysis. Nelson here, if I recall correctly, has one of the Hirogen vessels.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Hirogen Hunter.
Yeah, the tiny, the heavy escort.
Oh, the one with the console that does 180.
The 180, yeah.
Yes.
Which is a
I love that
wonderful console on huge ships. It is hilarious when your cruiser just does a 180 in midair.
So, the point that you've grabbed some stuff out of the crafting system, it actually brings something to mind for me, which is the crafting system, which is something I know has definitely changed tremendously since I last interviewed you. What's your opinion of the crafting system? Obviously, you've used it, but
actually, no, I bought both of those.
Oh, you just bought them straight up. Okay.
Yeah, but the crafting system in STO is, I don't know, man. It's
nightmarish, horrible, a travesty, breaking the game.
I would say all of those things, yes, but at the same time, recently, it got 3 times better, because now you can level them up 3 times as fast. As you recall a while ago, the research projects that gave you only 6,000 experience, you can now do 3 of those at once, unlike before you could only do 1.
Right.
And so now the whole, you can level this up in about 40 days, is once again true. So, I mean, before it took, let me think, I did it in my head once. It was, I think, to level up to level 15 it takes 135 days if you're doing just one of them. So now with 3 projects running, you can get that done in less than 40.
And is level 14 a goal? I don't. Right
15,
now,
actually.
Okay, because I don't do any crafting myself. However, as I was just showing everyone that was watching, I'm building up credit in each of the schools that I want, but I've never done any actual crafting because.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, when you get to level 15, you can then make some of the really cool special items, like the Omni Beam, the White Arc things. I also have this console on my ship, which is really good.
Exotic particle field exciter.
You should really read the description of that one, because it's not exactly what you'd think it does.
Yeah, it does 3 different things, all of them great.
Yeah.
When
I mean, like,
shield healed, applies field exciter for 15 seconds, plus 10 weapons power. Effect occur once every 30 seconds. Oh!
Yeah. That thing's really good.
Well, that might actually work really well with something that Nelson does. He has the Hizari trait, but that's friend heals. Okay, never mind.
Sorry, Jim.
Yeah. Well, of course you have your normal shield heals just as part of your rotation. You're always slapping a shield heal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, EPTS.
Yeah, and of course the bonus to shield strength is always welcome. And of course particle damage, well there's your Gravwells right there. That is that's a very handy console to have if you fly, say, a carrier. Especially the brand new Sarthen, who can handle 2 Gravwells at once.
Oh, I love grav torpedoes.
Yeah, I know. Those things are great. Although I'm actually looking forward to the torpedo that's coming out with the event that's going on right now.
Yeah, that one I believe is the. Actually, let me bring it up if I
crystalline
can.
anti-proton
Reputation
torpedo thing. What's a Mahoozer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able to mouse over it if it'll let. No, of course not. It shows me the box, not the actual torpedo. So the one that comes with the crystal in an entity event, which I haven't done on my characters yet today, is, as I understand it correctly, it's a torpedo that is affected by anti-proton damage boosters and does anti-proton damage rather than kinetic damage.
That would be correct. Which is a bit weird, but running the numbers, it does far, far less damage than just putting a gun on.
You mean the torpedo?
The torpedo.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, essentially, it's a torpedo that can be upgraded by torpedo abilities, but acts like an energy weapon. So it doesn't. It deals a lot more damage to shields, I would say.
Well, yeah, for a torpedo, it's a lot more useful, but the problem is it still operates like a torpedo. It has a significant cooldown, it has travel time, and of course it has a limited arc. Meanwhile, your fob boat is just spraying fire everywhere.
Well, how did you decide to set up your buffs on the Aquarius? Do you go with primarily a beam boat, or do you have cannons on it?
Me?
Yes. Nyzam, I mean.
I do both, actually. What I have right now is... I got this before they switched over how you train bridge officers, thankfully. I am actually able to have 2 beam overload 3s on my ship. Since they turned the Aquarius into a raider, essentially. Everything except 1 seat is now universal. But anyway... other than that, it's just a torpedo spread and another cannon rapid fire. And of course, my gem of all items, if I can get my thing up, there it is. Those are my most favorite weapon in the game.
Oh yeah, I've got those on my Recluse. They are... If you manage to run a semi-high auxiliary, these are some of those vicious mines in the entire game.
I know. To couple that with dispersal pattern beta 3, you can get 8 of those things on. I've seen them take cubes down half health.
Yeah, I think I've...
Through shields.
Yes, they are vicious, and I love them. They are... I do kind of like mines, and this is why I like mines. Just these. I'm also really curious because... especially since I last interviewed you about Star Trek Online, has your experience changed very much? We've had numerous things happen since then, because I think when I interviewed you, it was before new ESD.
Yeah, Actually, didn't they just release the Dyson reputation when that happened?
I think that's probably true. So,
Yeah.
do you have? I know that it's probably a little bit to go over. What's your take on everything that's happened since then? Like, how has playing the games then changed for playing the game now, especially inside of crafting system, like 8 reputations, etc. What are you going for now? Has it changed your goals, or has it changed your mind about playing? Do you play it more? Do you play it less? I'm just really curious about the history that you've got now.
As for goals, I would say that mainly I'm not one of those people that's going out trying to get the specialization points a lot. I mean, I did on Nyzam a little bit, but now that I'm able to craft certain bridge officer abilities, I'm not particularly interested in getting, 2% upgrades for spending 50 hours in game.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm really impressed with how they've increased the story and things like that, though. To be fairly honest, I haven't been playing as much as I used to.
Less time?
Yeah, it's been losing interest, and I suppose, my line of work, is taking up that, but I don't know, I've been slowly losing interest in Star Trek Online, mainly just because a lot of the things are not really worth the time putting into, like the specialization points.
Exactly. That's actually
sad to
been
say.
a large complaint about the Delta Rising expansion, is that the rate of progress is just too slow for to be fun.
I agree, and I mean, I saw a post on the forums, and I'm not one of those people with tinfoil hats that's on the forums, obviously. Though, I do agree with what this one person said, and they said, there's a problem when you look at the experience levels you're gaining during a double experience event and thinking that it's starting to feel normal.
Ooh.
Yeah, the double experience event, people didn't even notice it because they thought that was just the normal XP gain.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it until I remembered that it was going on.
Yeah, that's how badly XP gain in this at higher levels has actually been nerfed.
Ouch. So, well, looking at it now that you have less and less time to play, has that changed the way that you focus on approaching the game?
Not particularly. I go and work towards whatever I feel like I want to get or achieve in this game, and things that interest me, obviously. Like I mentioned before, with the specialization points, I don't really care about any of the new command stuff, so I'm not working towards getting that. And I've gotten as far as I want to in the intel and other secondary stuff, so I'm not working towards any of that stuff anymore.
Well, that does happen to cover one of the questions that I had for you, which was, what do you think of the way that the developers are deriving the new command sets, intelligence and command?
I don't see them as particularly useful, though they are certainly an interesting new avenue for abilities to go down. And I will admit, having a variety of abilities and classes essentially in an MMO that's a good thing to have. It gives people more options, more variety.
And in a sort of way, because you're still flying the Aquarius, you don't immediately have access to a lot of the space command stuff or space intelligence stuff, because the introduction of the command and intelligence hybrid seats is literally stuck to only new stuff.
Yeah, I was, like a lot of people, rather disappointed with that. However, it is nice that you can at least use those abilities on ground.
Yeah, do you happen to have any favorites on the ground? I know Nelson loves the tripwire mine.
I like the tripwire mine as well. It's just not as powerful as I would like, so I don't particularly use it. The one I do like, however, I got this one. It's the Vampiric Resonance Burst. That one's really good if you have higher levels of it.
So
Steals shields from enemies and gives it to you.
Oh, yes. That would be hilariously awesome, actually.
Yeah. The one from the command ability, which I don't have on this character, is the... what's it called? One of my bridge officers has it. Take cover. That one's really good. It essentially it gives you a lot of resistance, increases your weapon damage, and if you crouch during it, it also prevents knockback.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know what it looks like, but I remember seeing it in the command group, and it basically says when the command is given, if you crouch, you get some benefits, but there's also a bunch of benefits that it conveys that you get even if you don't crouch when it's activated.
Yeah.
So, I remember you mentioned that one of your favorite instances was Manos, which is a ground STF. Do you do ground stuff more often than you do space stuff, or what's your balance there?
I do both equally, really, but I do prefer ground, mainly just because to me, it's easier. A lot of people view it as a lot harder for some reason, but honestly, with the way things have been buffed and nerfed lately, I'd say ground is easier.
What's your opinion on all the new ground zones, like the Dyson dinosaurs and the Delta Rising, what are they? I don't remember what they're called, the zombies, Kobali.
Yeah. I think
The war crime
I think those
people.
grounds are really awesome, honestly. They're pretty much the places I've leveled up entirely with the specialization points that I do have.
In fact, if I recall correctly, when the Kobali zone had just been released and it was breaking left and right, I remember I was standing at the gates on the first mission waiting, and I saw you, and I think on your cat character.
Yeah.
I
remember that.
Yeah, I was thinking that one of the things that we could do while we were interviewing Nyzam for the stream was to actually go to the Kobali zone and run some of the missions that are there in order to talk about like the release of Delta Rising and just ground experience, which is nice to hear that he's into the ground stuff, because that gives a good reason just to go there and take a look at it. Especially, also it fits in with how you said that you like how the developers are introducing a lot more story. Does that mean that you've been through, I think you have been through the entire Delta Rising story now, at least on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've gone through all the Delta Rising stories, finally. It takes a while, but yeah, I've gone through all of them. And also the recent re-release of the Romulan missions as well. So
Right. So
those are still coming out, though. I only do 2 videos a week, so that's gonna take a couple weeks to get those all out.
Right. Well, which is perfectly fine when it comes to the YouTube experience. So would you be willing to launch off to Kobali Prime and then just run around on the ground there for a little bit for something? Yeah, that way we have a little bit of motion, because here we are in a virtual world. Oh,
Well,
your outfit suddenly changed.
I was thinking we could go to Vulcan if we were going to keep on talking. At least we can keep on talking in front of a brand new dead guy statue.
Do we want to go to Vulcan first and just essentially pay our respects and then go to the undead people as
You're
the
the
second
host.
part? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to Vulcan first.
Alright.
All right.
Ooh. I noticed you have like that backpack thing. It reminds me of from the Star Wars A New Hope. It reminds me of the backpacks that the people were
On
wearing.
the droids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you gone through the whole Delta Rising story missions yet?
I have. On a different character than this one, though. And one of the things that really bothers me about them is I really wanted the Delta Rising stuff, but the drop rate on ancient power cells, I forget what Nelson calls them. He calls them like doodads or something like that. Doohickeys was so low that I could only get one thing, and I got myself the Bioneural Gel Pack. And then I discovered the gun is like the most hilarious thing ever. And then I found out it cost me like 5 of those things, and I pretty much gave up.
Actually, you can get those relatively easy now. You can get those 1 a day on Kobali.
Yes,
And
I've heard this, which is another reason why I wanted to go to Kobali Prime.
Are you level 60, by the way?
No, she's level 57. I can switch to a level 60 to make sure that we can do stuff.
No, I was just curious because when you get to level 60, if you've done Bug Hunt Elite, then you get like I think like 2 or 3 of the power cells.
Ooh.
Also, I just want to say I am super jealous of your ship right now.
Oh, yeah, it was fun getting that. It's because I'm a little bit crazy. And one of the things that I tried to do is... Oh, I think I saw Computer Pimp briefly. I could be wrong. He's another one of our fans, and he messaged me earlier to see where we were meeting and what we were up to. Oh, there he is. And I figured I would add him after we're done with interviewing you if you want to stick around. Then we can
Sure.
like bring in 500,000 people and just crush the Star Trek Online universe under our feet. Boot heels. But yeah, that ship, the reason I was able to get it is because every time that there's lockboxes, I generally open a bunch of them in an attempt to get the ship. Oh! Wait, did someone actually manage to get into the fountain?
There's got to be a
No.
hole somewhere.
I think it's a... I don't know.
I don't.
Maybe
No,
it's a
that- no,
holographic spot.
That's a player.
It is a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
So-
mouse over him or anything. And there's this invisible wall.
Well, to be honest, they should have put that up, so I'm glad they did.
Yeah, that way people can't climb all over it.
Yeah, even though people have.
Apparently. Oh my god, this person has no head.
Is it Ghost Spock?
Yeah.
I missed that bug.
This is... No, you could do that.
You can't anymore, but
Oh, you can. You just have to do the right combination of stuffs.
I thought they got rid of that. I thought they fixed that. It has to do with the, what is it? It's some of the Ryzen outfit, right?
No, it's not just the Ryzen outfit. It's a couple of outfits and how they handle the body.
Mm.
If he took off his shirt, there wouldn't be anything underneath it either. I've had it happen to characters before, which is always amusing. And I had one character, it happened to their legs. So they were just a floating torso running around.
Yeah.
Well, just to let everybody know in the Twitch chat, I do pay attention to people typing in the chat. If you have any questions for Nyzam, I can certainly pass them along. So I've got... What I want to do right now is actually introduce where we're at and why we're here to everyone who's watching. Earlier I mentioned that the actor Leonard Nimoy had recently died, like last week in fact. And this is a memorial to Leonard Nimoy because he is the actor who played Spock on Star Trek. And in a lot of ways is probably much more fundamental to the universe than, well, like even Shatner, who played Captain Kirk. Spock's character shows up in pretty much every single property except maybe Enterprise that I can think of. Maybe... I don't recall if he showed up in Voyager or not, but we tried to ignore that Voyager existed sometimes.
I liked Voyager. Don't diss Voyager.
We don't have to. Voyager did it to itself.
I like some of Voyager, but I just run into too many problems with it. At some point, I just was like, no more. But the video of the Voyager firing more torpedoes than they had is probably one of the best videos I've ever seen. Oh, Nelson is trying to see if he can't get through the force field.
There are spots where you can stick.
Yeah, there was
And
no...
if I could get something that would boost my jump height just a little bit, I'm pretty
That's
certain
arrogant.
that I can roll myself up it.
Oh, we lost Nyzam. He has been ejected from the virtual world.
Yeah, the game's been having disconnect problems recently.
You know what I love the most about that is that I'm immediately able to log back in. To show that, you know, if it had just waited like 2 seconds more, it'd get connection again.
I remember when we first started playing Star Trek Online, and
Oh, by the way, we got Will McCormick here.
we've got Computer Pimp. We'll be picking him up after we're done interviewing Nyzam for for the 1 hour that I forced guests to stick around. So
The 1 hour of darkness.
But I think we've spent enough time here. We all know about Spock and Leonard Nimoy at this point. This is one of the memorials. It's a really good one, actually. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
What I don't like...
Aside from the part where we can't play in it.
Yeah, I think I'll live without being able to play in it. Anyway, in the Twitch chat, Firewall says that Spock appeared in the original series, the animated series, and the Star Trek movies 1 through 6 and The Next Generation. But he did not show up in Voyager, DS9, or Enterprise, which is probably sounds proper because where Voyager happens and Deep Space Nine happens and Enterprise,
They're Spockless.
he wouldn't be alive in Enterprise.
True.
So, let's throw ourselves into the Delta Quadrant, shall we?
Oh, fine. Can't hop on Spock. Can't get our Spock core on.
Oh no. I was waiting for that joke.
Well, I had to use it on air
With an engineer,
sometime.
You could have done that.
Let's see here. What's the easiest...
You know what? I bet if we had a engineer
Transwarping
force
to
field to
Delta.
jump up on, we can get over it.
Ah! Yeah, I remember having someone tell me that the best way to do it is to be a CAT engineer, a Cation engineer.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Cation engineer could probably get all sorts of places they're not supposed to.
I know. I have.
Brilliant. Now, I recall you saying that you were jealous of the ship that I have. I'm really curious, what are your current want list on ships?
Not many. I actually don't really care to have a lot of the ships that are currently in game, especially the new command ships. The Romulan command ships are kind of nice, but other than that, I don't particularly care for the new ones. Your ship, on the other hand, would be probably one of the only ones I would really want, purely just because of those awesome engines you have.
I do. I love the engines, and I should take this stupid shield off of it. I have the shield that growls when you fly. It's because this character is the one who flies the Recluse, so she has nothing that's designed for anything else. And I just didn't want to put the Tholian shields on the ship because of the weird effect it would have. And I have nothing else, so I had these shields, so I stuck them on it. Oh, why is it? Am I not allowed to go to Kobali Prime? I'm probably not on this character.
What level are you again?
57.
No, you should be able to go there.
Well,
Kobali's unlocked at 54.
do I have to skip my way through?
Have you not played any of the Delta missions on this?
I think I have not.
And then yes, you will have to.
Okay.
Yep,
you
because you're no use to them unless you do their stupid hoop jumping first.
There we go, the Kobali front.
Are you familiar with...
Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Alright.
That's fine, you'll be able to play through it.
Yep, well, I skipped my way straight up to the Kobali front, and then it allowed me in, so everything's good.
How about it?
There. There we go. Yeah, it looks like I may not need to play through the Dragon's Deceit. I hope not. I guess we'll
You will
find out.
need to sooner or later.
It's the name of a mission. We have someone in the household named Dragon, and so when I said that, he thought I was talking about him. So even if I can't, oops! Oh, I'm gonna get hit by a cutscene.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's Harry Kim. Oh, then what do you
Hello.
think of Harry?
I'm Captain Harry
Harry Kim embarrassing
Starfleet's
himself in
military
yet another
liaison to
series.
Kobali Prime.
Oh, he's talking. Okay, he stopped talking. Good. All right. Should I pick up? I should probably pick up the missions. We could probably go through
I
the
cannot tell you how we can't. We've been
some
we
of the
can't
beginning
stop.
missions. We can probably go through. Well, this I think Delta Rising. If we try to ignore how it kind of mechanically ruined a lot of the game, really did introduce a great deal of narrative and a whole bunch of not just cutscenes, but a bunch of voice acting, and brought in a whole bunch of characters that we know from Voyager. 7 of 9, the Doctor, Harry Kim, etc. And I think in a lot of ways it did a really good job of fundamentally showing us what the Star Trek Online crew can do if they have a chance to actually present story. Now, once again, I'm trying to divorce it from the sound and the fury of all the mechanics changes that have really annoyed everyone, I'm pretty sure. So, what do you think, Nyzam? I hear that you seem to say that you really enjoyed the new Delta Rising stuff, but what was it that you enjoyed about it in particular? Or is there any particular mission you think stands out, or does it just go together well? That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yes, there is one mission that stands out. The one I don't remember it. Hold on, what's the name of that one? It's the first one with 7 of 9. Revelations. That one was my favorite. That one, in my opinion, had the best acting in all of them. That one was really good.
What happened in Revelations?
I don't remember entirely what it was. It was you were helping the... Who were the blue fish people? I don't remember them.
Oh no, I don't recall their name either.
Anyway, you were helping them on their planet, but they were being attacked by the Vaudoir.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the entirety of it. It's a pretty simple mission. You can get through it relatively quickly, but I don't know, the story in that one, the voice acting, that one had the best content of all of them, I think.
Well, I know this next question actually might stir up a debate, but what's your opinion on the Federation's involvement with the Kobali?
Let's go shoot something.
I thought it interesting that they even sided with one of them.
Yeah, it seems to me that it's curious that the Federation continues to support the Kobali, even though knowing they're kind of creeps.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got a mission called the Cavalry. Speak with injured Kobali. Yeah, well,
the Kobali, they're back at the medical bay.
I immediately ran away from them. I think that if I recall correctly, once I got here, I very quickly was able to get through missions and then get into the field. So maybe if I talk to these Kobali quickly and then get someone to eject me into the field, that would be... Where are they?
Down here.
I totally went the wrong way then. Yep.
That's fine, I know where all these places are. I've been down here for the past 3 months grinding.
Oh, you've been grinding? Oh yeah, because...
Please!
Okay.
Billions and billions of spec points.
Yes.
I'm gonna talk to these people
Of course, they nerfed the XP from it, so it's not worth grinding anymore.
Thank you.
No, they
It
didn't
made many
nerf the
groups
XP
of-
down here, did they?
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
What are you talking about? Let me see that. Actually, no, I'll find out as soon as we complete this mission.
Mission XP is still fine, but general XP from just doing things on the ground.
Oh, well, you see, that's not it. Here's a little trick that I found out, and don't tell this to any of the devs.
Oh, okay.
So,
I hope they're not watching.
the mission we're doing right now.
Reporting
you know
for
at
duty,
the
sir.
end of it, we
It is a
have
pleasure
the
to
At
watch
Our
you in
Backs
action,
mission
sir.
at the bridge, right?
Sure.
Where we shoot all the Vaudoir and we get points and whatever. And there's like 3 waves of them, really easy. Well, here's the thing: you can just station yourself on the bridge and then partake in everyone else's mission of that when they come to the bridge.
Oh well,
And
that's
then you
that's a repeatable mission. That's not
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah,
but
and
yeah,
then you get
that's
You
one
get
of the
like
things
2K
where the XP is
just from
nerfed.
each one.
That's one of the things where the XP is nerfed is in the repeatable missions.
Oh. Well, that kind
It
of
doesn't
sucks.
kick in until you're 60.
Yeah, but is that actually a repeatable mission? Because this is an area thing, not an actual, like, log it in your journal kind of thing.
Yeah, Pimp says that the XP has been boosted for space areas, but he's not sure about the ground.
Well, as soon as we complete it and I see how much XP I've earned, then I'll know.
Okay.
Because if it's like...
Wow.
If it's
I
like
haven't seen this
1700, then they haven't changed it.
Oh, I think he's running away, and he just jumped into a wall and vanished.
Gotta love Kobali.
I found some
Special
information
people.
for you.
Okay, Captain Kim is yelling at me. I had to lower the voiceover volume because I think it was loud, too loud, and it was cutting into other people speaking, and I can't quite control it. Sometimes I can't get Harry to shut up. Is what I mean.
And trust me, Harry needs to shut up.
Permission to speak freely. Something isn't right.
Hold on,
Understood.
let me get through this dialogue tree here. I'm just, for everybody that's watching, I am literally just rushing through this stuff, so I apologize. This is no way to actually experience the game. Mostly I'm doing that because the point of this live stream is not to watch the game, because this Delta Rising content has been out for a bit. It's to get Nyzam to talk about his experience playing the game. And
This
being...
content's actually been out for like almost a year now, I think.
Yeah, this has been...
We can't stop.
present. This has been out for at least 6 months, if nothing else. So anyone who has not played it, you still have a chance to play it. Oh, good.
Where have
At
you
the
been
gates.
for the past 6 months? Yeah.
Oh, Computer Pimp says I always have to lower the voiceover volume just because of get your EPOs.
Don't, please, no.
I won't. I won't. Zero herself has come out to say that she hates her own voice because of that. Okay, shooting! Oh, my poor personal shields. Whatever shall I do?
There's your ability, by the way.
Oh, the crouch? Oh, it
Yeah.
causes the hexagons?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we should save these.
I didn't
to
get a
volley,
hexagon.
shouldn't we?
Oh, yes,
Yeah, we don't
should.
have to. They'll just rebirth or whatever in a few minutes anyway.
Oh, we've got...
Yeah, don't worry, I'll set them all on fire.
Holy crap, I'm having trouble remembering what the icons mean.
That's because they all changed.
And yes, the change is for the better unless you spent the past, 5 years remembering the icons.
Yeah.
Some of the
course.
icons-
Who's done that?
I can't. I don't know. My bullet.
I love this gun, by the way. It's great. Because I know that there's a definite place for beam weapons in Star Trek because this is Star Trek, but Ooh, so many new sounds. Oh, there we go. I got the hexagon. I feel good
Yeah.
about myself.
Yeah, I got 3,000 experience. They haven't dropped this at all. If anything, that boosted it.
Okay. Oh, cutscene. I'm going to skip this. Oh, wait, no.
And I got 1,000 spec experience. I need 108,000 to make next level. And I'm a
Wait,
third of the way there.
Wait. You only how many specs did you get?
1,000.
Why in the world did you get so little? I got 3,000.
No, there's a difference between experience and spec experience.
He's talking about
Yeah, I know.
specialization.
Hold on. I'll just
Skill
copy
points
this.
and expertise have nothing to do with it.
I know. Look, I'll put it in chat. That's what it says.
Everyone's waiting for you. I'll keep trying to figure this out.
Oh, let me look. Team. Number received 3,180 specialization. Something interesting must have happened to Nelson.
Strange.
Well, either that or I'm at a higher level of spec than he is.
My son
Oh, do you think it
We can't stop.
It
it
very
slows
well
down
could.
or
It very well could.
How many spec points have you unlocked?
I'd have to actually check.
Yeah, let me look at mine. I have intelligence officer. I don't even know where to look. Well, specialization points 0. Where do I look? Oh wait,
I don't think it says anywhere exactly how many you've opened. But I've unlocked enough to fill out pilot and intelligence officer.
That may be a reason. That's odd.
Pilot. Let's see here. I got 3,000 expertise, some Delta marks.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go sell those marks right now while I talk.
Skill point plus 2,000. Skill point. It's not. Well, it's not worth poring over the logs to figure this out right now. So, oh yeah.
But on the other hand, even if I did get 3,000 at a time, that meant I'd have to do this 40 times to level.
We can't.
To be fair, if you go AFK here for a couple hours, you'll get people will come through here quite often. I'd say at least like 6 times an hour.
Mhm.
It's a pretty decent way for not doing anything.
Oh. Oh.
Can you get it AFK?
Yeah, I
Or
just.
do you have
I
to like
usually
actually participate?
Yeah, I usually just like station my bridge officers on the bridge. I hide behind the wall, and they do all the work.
Well, that sounds about right.
Okay, I'm going into the field with you, with everyone, because I think I've got the
Yeah.
next mission is the sun, and I'll just follow you in. What? I know that we're coming up on the 10-minute mark here, so I'm really curious to ask Nyzam about what it's like being a YouTuber, basically. When you're producing content, say for Star Trek Online, what are you looking for, especially producing an audience and speaking to people and showing, you know, what you're doing?
I'm not entirely sure how to answer that.
Well, it's a little bit broad. I'm kind of asking, like, what is the experience of being a Star Trek Online player who makes YouTube videos? It's take it however you like.
I think I found it's kind of an interesting niche to go into for Star Trek Online on YouTube, mainly just because I wouldn't consider Star Trek Online to be one of the most popular MMOs out there, you know, like compared with other things like World of Warcraft or Dota or stupid stuff like that. But at the same time, it's not the most unpopular thing, which means I don't know, it's an interesting balance between being popular and not so popular, where it's like Minecraft or something where literally everyone does it and nothing special about it. So, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense, because I've discovered in working with Star Trek Online people is that it is niche enough that you find people who really like the game and can speak to it, and they're much more likely to actually stick around. Whereas you go with things like Dota or the MOBAs or the hyper, how to describe that, the hyper competitive, you find people who are competitors.
Yeah. You see, that's one of the things I love about the community that's on my channel, is like, it's not like a lot of other channels that I've seen on YouTube. Like, the people that are in the community are a lot more involved, I'd say, and stick around a lot more, which is really nice. They're not just fleeting people who really don't care about anything. They stick around and actually appreciate what you do. And I really like that.
So, having done a bunch of Star Trek Online content, have you collected a number of people that you come online to see and actually run things with from your YouTube running around exploits?
Amazingly, no, actually. The entire time I've done YouTube, I can't really think of more than like 3 people that I have ever recorded with. Oddly enough.
Is that something that you expected to get out of it when you started, or what brought you to start making YouTube videos, I think is the better question.
Well, that's a whole nother story in itself. I actually started making YouTube videos on another channel entirely that was run by me and a friend who's gone now. But once that channel split, I started making videos on my own just because I purely enjoyed it. I forgot what the question was.
Oh, it was what brought you to start making YouTube videos, and I'd like to specifically narrow it to what brought you to make Star Trek Online videos.
Well, I record anything that I enjoy, really. On the previous channel that I mentioned that I used to record on, me and my friend would just record anything that was, you know, it wasn't really anything we necessarily enjoyed. And it really wasn't the greatest content. You know, your heart's not in it when you're doing something that you don't enjoy playing or recording.
Right, I can thoroughly agree with that. Oh, bombing run. That's my favorite ground command thing that I've run into, is that bombing run thing.
It does
I don't
have
know
some
that
thumpy.
It's weird. It's on my Kobali character here has it. Basically, when she triggers it, a pair of lines appear, and then they narrow onto each other, and then explosions happen. I think she just called one in.
The bomb drop thing.
Yes.
Ah, that, yeah.
Holy crap, there's a lot more noises now that the command stuff is in. Hey, Nada Enchilada, it's nice to see you. We are interviewing right now Nyzam45 from YouTube. If you have any questions about Star Trek Online, or especially his experience recording and publishing YouTube videos on Star Trek Online, it would be a perfect time to do that. Coordinate bombing strike. Thank you, Joe. That's what it's called. I was calling it bombing run because that's what it looks like.
I just call it the droppy bomb thing.
Well, it's descriptive enough, I think. As long as everyone knows what you're talking about.
If you gotta drop you some bombs, you use the droppy bomb thing.
So, what's the part of these ground missions that can sometimes drop the daily cell, ancient cell?
I'm actually not entirely sure. I think it's a mission or something. I know that there is one because it was mentioned in the patch notes a couple weeks ago. I just don't remember what though.
Yeah, I think I've got a found mission or something leading me this way. Oh, bad guys.
Bad guys.
Got to shoot people. That's one of the things that I do like about ground.
Shoot the medic.
Oh, that's right. I'm like, why am I not killing this guy? And I'm like, why is there a beam around him? This kind of
That ability of all the things in this game is one of the most annoying things, I swear.
Keeps you on your toes.
If anything, I really just wish it had a timer on it to show how much longer it was gonna last.
It is something that reminds me very much of Team Fortress 2.
I know, doesn't it?
Especially the shoot the medic command.
Yeah.
What? Why does it want me over here? No, it's over here. Me and looking at the map. Not doing very well today. Well, we've got 5 minutes left in our interview with Nyzam, so I'm really curious if there's anything that you wanted to add about Star Trek Online, the experience of recording YouTube, anything that you wanted to close out with, Nyzam.
I can't think of anything in particular, really.
Well, there's probably a surprising breadth of experience there. You know, playing a game, meeting people, recording your experience, which is one of the really cool things about being a YouTuber, is that you have had a moment, or at least a chance, to represent your experience. Edited probably a little bit, but it's still another form of expression, more so than just running around the game by yourself, or, well, with friends, whatever the case may be.
I agree. I don't know, the main reason I really enjoy it overall is that I know that although maybe it's just a few people, but it brings, you know, happiness to some people, at least. I know some people actually find whatever I do funny.
Right, yes.
I don't know, I enjoy that. I enjoy making people happy like that. Even if it's not much.
Well, it makes sense to me. So, I think that we can bring the interview here to a close. Nyzam, of course, if you want to stick around with us for the rest of the stream, which can last longer, you are perfectly welcome. But I am going to stop grilling you for, like, every ounce of personal information that you have.
No, sure. Yeah, I'll stick around.
So why do you have Slobcat?
Slobcat?
What?
What? Oh, the fatcation? Yeah, sure. Let's make that the last question. Tell us about the fatcation.
Tell us about Slobcat.
I don't know, a long time ago when I saw Cations in the store when I first started, he was the first thing that came to mind for some reason, and I just bought him. I don't know why. He's become one of my best officers, actually.
He has a pot belly. I mean, it was. I noticed that, and I didn't know that he was your bridge officer.
And the button shirt.
It's great, actually, because he looks disheveled and everything. It's glorious.
He should have coffee in his hand instead of a phaser.
Well, that's it, everybody who is watching for the interview. I'm going to wrap that up right now, but we are going to continue streaming. So, for anybody who's watching this, if I clip it for YouTube, I, of course, have been your host, Amherst. With me is my co-host, Nelson Williams. He's playing Damien, and we were here for about an hour interviewing Nyzam45 from YouTube. You can find him on YouTube if you can spell his name, Nyzam45, Nyzam45. And he does, well, Star Trek Online, almost Let's Play-like videos and some stuff of STFs. He has quite a bit of content, and it's quite worthwhile. That's how I found him initially to do the interview I did with him about 2 years ago. And I'm really glad that he's been able to come along. Thank you so much for joining us, Nyzam.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if there's anyone in the